A leadership campaign launch designed almost completely around a single key message.
I led the fight to save NAFTA and Canadian jobs, even when the Conservatives wanted me to back down.
Chrystia Freeland is leaning on her experience renegotiating NAFTA during Donald Trump's first presidency. But she did that as part of Prime Minister Justin Trudeau's cabinet, a government she's now trying to distance herself from.
For some time, I had been in disagreement with the Prime Minister, specifically over spending. Democracy means when people tell you something, you have to listen.
Get out!
A belief that got repeatedly tested at her event.
My family's dying! Nothing else!
More than a dozen pro-Palestinian protesters took turns interrupting her, some calling her a genocide supporter before getting thrown out. Freeland is considered a frontrunner, along with former Bank of Canada Governor Mark Carney, but another candidate is now also entering the leadership race.
My name is Karina Gould, and I'm running to be the next leader of the Liberal Party of Canada!
At just 37 years old, Gould is appealing to the party's grassroots.
What's going to be the most effective for us as a country is to have a leader who has the confidence of the party, and more importantly, a leader who has the confidence of the country.
Right now, Freeland has about 24 endorsements from fellow MPs, but on Sunday, Carney got a key voice to back him, Foreign Affairs Minister Mélanie Joly, seen as an organizing force in Quebec where the political fortunes of would-be Liberal leaders are often decided. Rafi Boudjikani on CBC News, Toronto.
Let's bring in CBC News Chief Political Correspondent Rosemary Barton. Rosie, we now have a good sense of the Liberal leadership race. How is it shaping up?
Erica, this is a really quick race, of course, at this critical time for Canada. So not surprisingly, you're hearing candidates contrast themselves to Justin Trudeau, to Pierre Poilievre, and explaining what they would do to stand up to Donald Trump. Karina Gould added in this appeal to the grassroots of the party today. Chrystia Freeland touted Trump's dislike of her. But we're also seeing that becoming leader of a party is actually a lot harder than it might seem. Freeland took about 20 minutes today to get a handle on that rally because of the protesters, while being a little bit dismissive of them. Last week, the other major leadership contender, Mark Carney, had teleprompter issues and a kind of flat delivery of his launch speech. Contrast that with Pierre Poilievre, who has done now hundreds of events and is relatively unfazed when these things happen. Listen, there's time for everyone to improve, but not much before an election.
And none at all before Trump becomes president. A lot of prep happening among federal politicians now.
Yeah, at this stage, no one in government that you ask really knows what's going to happen tomorrow in terms of those tariffs. The last time Trump put tariffs on Canada's steel and aluminum back in 2018, Canada's ambassador to the U.S., David McNaughton, had been told it was not going to happen. And then 15 minutes later, Trump changed his mind. So tomorrow's cabinet retreat is going to be set up a little bit like a war room to respond very quickly to whatever the president-elect does. The government aims to move fast on those counter tariffs, get out publicly to talk about the economic damage and how it will respond.
Okay, thanks for this, Rosie. Rosemary Barton in Ottawa.